For this project, you're gonna want to texture your slab before building your piece. The theme for this project is nature versus industry. So you wanna think about machines and factories and buildings and technology, and then you wanna juxtapose that with nature. So you might like animals, or you might like plants, sunshine, clouds. You want to be able to show both on your piece, and you should decide ahead of time if you want them to be working in harmony or if you want them to be fighting with each other. So I have a couple of options to show you as far as how you could texture your piece. The first one is you could texture your piece much in the same way that we textured our lug handles. You could find a texture mat like the one I'm holding. This one is made for candy making. And you could press this into the clay to create a texture. You could find these little foam sponge stamps. These work really great on clay, and press these into the clay like that. It kind of looks like an octopus. It's kind of fun. They sell these, or you may find them somewhere, or you can just use real leaves. Real leaves work great. It's just the middle of winter. But if you find really nice deep veined leaves that are real, that works really, really well and looks very, very nice. So I'll show you that. It's kind of very pretty. A lot of people make their own clay stamps. So if anybody wants to try to make their own clay stamp, it won't be ready for this project, but you can certainly make them, and I will fire them. This little goat I made. They have little wooden stamps that work pretty well. And the rubber stamps for scrapbooking, some of them work and some don't. Some of them are too small, the design, and some of them the design is perfect. So you can try that. You could try a ribbon tool. So these are ribbon tools. And if you are a really good freehand artist kind of thing, you could create your own maybe plant texture or carve out an animal. So there's my little corn stalk, so I can make a little ear of corn here. There's my little ear of corn. So that's an option. These are called ribbon tools. Or you could create your own textured rib. So these are ribs they sell that are textured, and I have quite a few little different ones. But they sell these, and you don't have to buy them, because if you go back to your old famous Kroger Plus card, I'm gonna go ahead and flip this guy over so I have more space to texture. You can actually take a pair of scissors and cut this any old way you want, and then you would hold it parallel to the surface, dragging smoothly from one end to the other, and look how pretty that design is on there. And then the last thing I wanted to show you is they sell these wooden rollers, and you can certainly make these yourself as well. You would need a little bit of artistic skill, but they do make these. You can get just wooden circles from anywhere, and then you carve on the side of them with a carving tool, or even easier, this is like the real easy way. Get yourself like an old paper towel roll, kind of one that looks like this, and then you take a hot glue gun and you hot glue onto it to create the pattern, and then it would roll across the surface just like one of these very fancy ones, but it would be, you know, homemade and free. All right, so here's my little design. Maybe I'll put little frogs on it. They're perfect. Maybe I'll put like little grass marks. Perfect. So that's what I want you to do next, is you're gonna wanna texture your pieces before you join them. And before you declare yourself done, you wanna lay your template back across the top and cut away any extra, because when you texture them, they do tend to change size. And that'll make it just a tiniest bit hard to put it back together and have it be even. This is actually pretty even at the top, so I think I'll leave that. But that will certainly make your life a little easier if you just trim it a little bit to make it the shape you wanted. All right, now the only thing to do once you have this all textured is to leave it alone. You want this guy to be leather hard. Leather hard means that when I go to lift it, it should stay. So you'll notice this is not staying. Now you don't want to do this a lot because remember clay has memory. So bend it the way it's going to bend in its final piece. But if I bend this, it should stay pretty well, and then you'll know it's leather hard. The other way you could tell is if you feel it and it feels damp, like your finger feels like it's being damp, then it's not ready to go. Give it another hour. It should really only take, if you leave it out, an hour and a half left out should work. Whatever you do, you see the sunshine. I don't know if you can see it in the video. There's sunshine over here. Do not leave it in the sunshine because then that will dry it off super fast, and you do not want that. Never leave pottery in sunshine. All right, see you guys after your clay is ready to go.